So Jennifer, we're standing in beautiful Mullinex Park. It's gorgeous out here, but I know there's been some stories in the news about what's been happening here. Could you share a little bit about your thoughts?
I can. You know, this is a great park and it's supposed to be a great neighborhood park. In 2003, I worked with the Friends of Mullinex Park and we rededicated this park. We improved the pool, we put up a new pavilion. We tried to make sure people felt like we, the city, were invested in this park as the residents were. You know, this is a historically black park. We have to make sure that we respect every neighborhood so that whoever lives here gets to enjoy the park in the right way. The kids are in the swimming pool right now. You can hear them laughing and sloshing, and that's what it's supposed to be about. But what you can't allow is that what happens at the pavilion and off hours becomes such a detriment to the park that families can't come and enjoy the park in the afternoon or early evening. And that is what we're having a problem with. The residents have made it clear this is a problem. There have been almost 1,000 calls for service from this neighborhood to the police department in the last year. We have 70,000 calls for service in the entire city, and if almost 1,000 come from this neighborhood, that is a sign that something is wrong. That's also a sign that we are not using data-driven policing in the right way. The police department needs to be out here in a more proactive way. We have the resources and we have to make sure we're allocating them. A couple of the things that I would do are similar to some of the things that we did back in the day when I was mayor. Some of it involves me personally being in touch with the residents. People will remember that a lot of the residents had my personal cell phone, and they could call me when the bar was letting out at Exhale, when that was creating such a detrimental impact on their neighborhood. You know, they would find crazy things in their front yards, just like these residents are finding. It's not a new problem. These things exist, they pop up, but the willingness to deal with them isn't being felt by the residents now. The city administration isn't addressing them in a meaningful way.
Wasn't there something about a Monopoly game or something
Yeah.
where you were playing?
We did. You know, restaurants and bars like that stay open very late, and the residents didn't like being awoken in the middle of the night. Well, we set up a Monopoly game in Christine Davis's front yard, right there on the corner. So we stayed there late into the evening. One of the reasons was to prove our presence, to make sure people saw us, but also to tell the police department that I was serious about it, that I wanted to make sure that they knew this was a commitment that I had made to the residents, that we were going to protect every neighborhood's quiet enjoyment of their homes. The idea that, you know, a mayor had to go out at 1 or 2 in the morning to play Monopoly is kind of ridiculous in this day and age, and it might seem quaint, but I would do that here, and I would know that, make sure that every resident knew that if he or she wanted to call me in the middle of the night, that I would come if they asked. You know, I don't think it's appropriate for a mayor to patrol on her own all the time, but sometimes the police need to feel that we're watching too, and to make that commitment. I embrace our police department, and I know they have a tough job. Some of the things that I would make sure that we were able to do is invest in security cameras in the hot spots in our city. This is obviously a current hot spot, but I was at a house party last night on the other end of Carroll Creek where the residents were talking about the same things that plague Mullinex Park, and that's homelessness, drug abuse, and public urination, public defecation, and crime. What we have to make sure is that we're dealing with these little things that start to have an impact on our neighborhoods out and throughout the streets. That's not what we are. We are a great and strong community, and we address problems when they come up. I've suggested many times that a police kiosk on Carroll Creek is a great way to welcome people to our city, but also to prove that we have committed our police resources to making sure that people feel safe walking, coming and going. This park is just yards from the city's police department. These are problems that can be solved. There has to be that demonstrated commitment by the administration. If we have to wait till December, when I would be fortunate enough to take office, we'll start on that, making sure that people feel like we're responding to every neighborhood's problems.
Thank you.
Thank you.